Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our second day and second drive of our Tswalu virtual safari. It's a beautiful morning. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day, nice and warm. Thank you so much for all your comments and questions. We'll try and reply to all of them and fit in all the requests as soon as we can. The plan for this morning, we're going to head out into the eastern side of the reserve around Main Dam, where we're hoping to find cheetah and the Nauru Pride lions. Enjoy.
Guys, we've only been out 15 minutes driving the eastern boundary of the Manyeleti, and look what we see in the road. A pack of painted wolves, wild dogs. Let's go in and see how many there are. We're still trying to work out which pack this is. It could either be the Ngala pack or maybe the Investec pack.
It was a big surprise and thrill for us when we came around the corner and saw them standing in the middle of the road. They're an incredibly endangered species. There's less than 250 of them left in the Kruger National Park. Only the Ethiopian wolf is under more threat in terms of large carnivores. Jerry, I know you were very keen to see them, and I'm glad we got them for you. Human encroachment, habitat loss, diseases like distemper, canine distemper, and rabies, and lions are the biggest threat to these dogs. It was quite funny when we first saw this dog. We thought he was eating grass. They'll do that to, if they're not feeling too well, to bring up whatever's making them ill, or just to add a bit of roughage or fiber. But if you look closely, he was actually trying to pick off the little flowers on those plants, which is not usual to see.
Maybe they get those two rams.
While looking at the dogs, while they were sitting down, none of them actually had any blood on their face. So between Neil and myself, we were just contemplating if they are going to go start to hunt. We're just driven through a big open area where there was a couple of impala. As you can see, the dogs are starting to move. Definitely a big pack like this of 10 dogs needs to hunt regularly. As you can see, the adult in the front starting to move down the road. The young pups, or sub-adults now, are starting to follow. There's some hyenas also not far behind them that have just come out of the bush. These hyenas followed these dogs. It's one of the great sightings that I see quite a bit in the Manyeleti is hyena and dog interaction. Normally they're absolute eternal enemies. But in the Manyeleti, these hyenas seem to just follow the dogs. On a number of occasions, I've actually seen them sleeping under the same tree. So yeah, these hyenas follow the dogs at a distance. When the dogs make a kill, the hyenas run in and try and steal the food. The dog suddenly stopped, motionless in the road. Ears pointed out towards that open area where we had seen all the impala. As you can see, the dogs, with their very large ears, have incredible hearing, incredible smell, and incredible sight. Out of the larger predators, the wild dogs are the most successful hunters. They use an incredible strategy where they all work together as a pack and run down their prey. Throughout my guiding experience, I've seen a number of wild dog kills where they work as a pack and run down these animals, and that's what makes them so successful. photographer's dream. All the dogs lined up.
The way the dog's pack system works is they'll usually have an alpha male and female. The rest of the dogs will act as helpers and hunters. Just from the behavior in the front, these two look like the alpha pair. The female's on the ground, and if you notice, she's got quite a swollen belly, which is a good sign that she's pregnant. They usually start to den from about the period of May, and they'll den for 3 months. The record number of pups had by one female in the crew was 21 pups, which is incredible. The average litter is sort of between 6 and 12, and they'll den in a large termite mound which they'll excavate. And what will happen is a lot of the adults will go out hunting, they'll kill, they'll run back to the den and regurgitate food to anyone who stayed behind, maybe the mother and then the pups once they start to eat meat.
The dogs moved off into quite a thicket. We decided not to follow because it was too thick. We drove to the open area where the impala were. We sat with the impala, listened to some francolins, but weren't lucky with the dogs. The dogs obviously headed straight west.
Another good find on our morning safari was this group of ground hornbills. They tend to live in small groups like this, and they are carnivorous. They'll move through this large open plains. They'll use their big beaks and long clawed toes to hunt for prey. They'll eat anything from beetles to snakes, tortoises, lizards. I've even seen scrub hares. They've flown up into this big tree. They usually land up in a big dead tree so they can afford to take off and land quite easily without getting caught up. The reason they are quite endangered is a very, very slow breeding rate. A lot of their nesting sites will get pushed over by elephants, and also used again in, unfortunately, traditional medicine by humans. We were still trying our luck in trying to find the dogs, but we were having no success. They must have gone to lay down in this very large block. But while we were looking for the dogs, we did bump into a nice small breeding herd of elephants. This little one at the back is trying to use his tusks to break some of those smaller branches off. He's obviously been watching some of the adults. Probably in the region of 4 years old. Their tusks usually start popping out when they're between 1.5 2 years. Those will grow in time and will obviously make it a lot easier for him then. That's it for our morning safari. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you again out this afternoon. Have a great day.